Hi there, my name is Chris Stoneman. I am the CTO and co-founder of Care Security, and today I'm going to talk about EC2 forensics and incident response. So what you might need to do if you find your EC2 instance has been compromised. So in terms of some of the initial things you might want to do, if you find that you have a compromised EC2, say via a guard duty alarm, you can do things like you can change the security group so you don't allow outbound internet access. So that's a fairly safe thing to do normally, or we can apply a different security group. Instead of that's easier. You might have an instance profile attached to the EC2. So that's an IAM role and following on from that too. So access into other parts of AWS. If you do have that attached to your EC2, you can simply remove it, obviously, or lock it down. There are other things you can do too. For example, you can isolate that system by turning it off. You don't want to terminate it though, because that will destroy the evidence. And to that end, you can also take a snapshot of the EC2. So with the EBS volumes that are part of the EC2, you can snapshot those, and that enables you to do forensic analysis later on. So this is just the initial things you might do at the very start of a compromise. There's a whole another talk that we've already done and we've already published on YouTube around the wider sections you would do in an investigation. This is the very beginning, particularly for EC2. So a bunch of official AWS resources that might help you here. I won't go through all of these. Most of these are semi-official tools on AWS's GitHub, so they're not official AWS services, but they are tools that might help you. So for example, we have one here that acquires some data over SSM. So SSM is the agent running on these systems potentially. So it's getting kind of live forensics or live data. Other systems here will go and do things like take a snapshot of a disk. Some other resources out there. So a while ago, SANS published a white paper on doing a forensic analysis of a Linux EC2. So a little bit outdated, but still useful. Similarly, a few years ago, Black Hat Threat Response was launched. Very useful tool set in there. It does things like doing timelining of compromised systems, etc. Again, a little bit dated, but still quite useful. And at Kado, we published a bunch of things. So our commercial platform is obviously all about this, but also we published a bunch of tutorials and also training data, etc. that you might find, again, either on our YouTube, our GitHub, or our website. I spoke a bit earlier on how you can perform isolation of EC2s. There's a great talk here called, I think it was How to Perform Incident Response in Your Pajamas, link at the bottom. This is a more complicated example. So in this case, there's an EC2 sitting behind a ELB or a load balancer. In that case, you detach the instance first. And there are multiple different scenarios in this talk that they go through. On the Kado side, we automate a lot of this, so point and click. So let's say you have a detection guard duty. You can then set up so you automatically then get a copy of that instance, so a snapshot without any impact. And then via an automated investigation, if we confirm that is actually malicious activity, we'll do things like stop the instance or isolate that role or isolate the security group. So all things we're talking about manually you can do with Kado response automatically. Also import an EC2 either via the UI, as you see here on the left, or via the API. On the right here, there's a scenario I see that we've imported. It's an EC2 instance along with some guard duty and CloudTrail logs. And that means you get this kind of data here. So quite detailed analysis of everything that's happened on the disk. Off screen here, I think as well, would show things like the guard duty alerts side by side. And there, just to double down on that, you can see here, I can browse through the file system of an EC2. I could also download, browse, and antivirus scan all the individual files that were sitting on the EC2 at the time of capture. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening to me. We do have a free 14-day trial on our website if you're interested. Thanks.